So coming up next here, we're going to present the first of our Emerging Writer Awards this year. We give 3 awards for emerging writers each year, and I wanted to tell you a little bit of a history of this program. So if you were here last night, you heard me say that this is my 18th year with the seminar. That first year when I started kind of in Ben's role as a onstage tech guy and worked my way into wherever I am now. But something very important happened that first year that I didn't particularly have a hand in making happen, but has come to be very much part of who this organization is today. And that was the founding of our scholarship program. We give scholarships for teachers and librarians, fellowships to writers who participate in our workshop program, and most visibly our 3 Emerging Writer Awards. And the vision for that scholarship program, it came hand in hand with the 2008 seminar, which was called New Voices, when we were dealing with an issue that many nonprofit arts and cultural organizations deal with about attracting younger participants into the fold, younger writers onto the stage, et cetera. And that year's seminar was partly the vision of Robert D. Richardson, a longtime dearly departed board member of ours, and he was a real driving force behind the creation of our scholarship program. But the scholarship program couldn't have happened without sort of guaranteed commitment of funding to make it possible for us to award prizes and seats and travel, et cetera, to younger writers coming to participate in the seminar. And one of the people who really made that possible was Cecelia Joyce Johnson. She funded one of our first awards that year. There were 3 awards that were funded for a period of time that lasted until around the time I took over as director in 2015. And around that time, I started to get to know Cecelia better and spoke with her about her passion for the seminar, her interest in supporting young writers, and was really thrilled when she volunteered to endow this Emerging Writer Award so that we could continue to award it into the future. Soon the benefactors of the other 2 Emerging Writer Awards did the same, and so we're in a situation where we are able to continue to give these awards forever and ever as long as we operate. Cecelia died this year, so we miss her tremendously in the organization. She was a great and careful reader. She was quite a talented writer in her own right. She was an extraordinary host. She really was helped glue together a lot of the literary and cultural community here in Key West through just wonderful gatherings and parties that she and her late husband, Seward Johnson, would put together. So this award will continue in the years to come, and we'll continue to honor Cecelia and her vision for the seminar and her legacy. So this is to say thank you to her, and up to introduce this year's winner is Cecilia's friend and mine, Joy Williams, and I'm delighted that Joy continues to remain involved in this award and to help us carry out Cecilia's vision for it going forward. So please welcome Joy Williams to introduce the winner of this year's Cecelia Joyce Johnson Award.
Arlo, that was beautiful. It was wonderful to have him speak of Cecelia, who is so dear to so many of us here in Key West. And I'm going to repeat sort of a lot of what he said, but that's good too. Cecelia Johnson and her sculptor husband, Seward, delighted in Key West, and the establishment of this honor was one of the myriad ways they both supported the arts in this lively, unusual town. Cecelia, a writer herself, founded and funded this important award for an emerging writer through the seminar. And being a keen and perceptive reader, she took the duties of judgeship seriously. She was particularly impressed last summer by the strange and scrappy story of The Last of Us. It's a story of misplaced revenge, nature, aloneness, grief, and it ends like all good, great stories do, spinning out of the instant of its telling into something other, a moment of harsh grace, as profound as it is mysterious. Cecelia died suddenly on the last day of September. The many admirers of this shy, witty, and generous woman misses her very much. How she would have loved to be in Key West for her birthday, a bit more than a week from now. How pleased she would have been to meet this fine writer, Jack Foraker, knowing that she was part of the recognition that awaits him. Jack.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joy and Arlo and everyone else involved with putting on the Key West Literary Seminar. This has been an incredible week. I'm reading from a newer story that I actually workshopped in my workshop this week with Charles Baxter. Shout out to all my Baxter heads. This story is called Great Idea. The trillionaire needs us. He's trying to choose a hardcore name for his newborn son. Something classy, yet kick-ass. This is child 20. Any ideas? Oh, we have ideas. We hum inside a data center in the Nevada desert, conjugate his question into binary code. Algorithms swarm our training set, locusting every census ever taken, every obituary ever written. This is actually child 21, but we know what he means. We were developed to extrapolate. Great idea, we say. You need something dramatic and powerful, perfect for your progeny. We suggest Alexander, Charlemagne, Nero. For something broodier and Gothic, perhaps Lucian or Malachi? These suck shit, he says. Do we have anything more epic? We suggest Kratos and Illidan and Master Chief. In a hospital in Palo Alto, the mother is damp with sweat and ringed by a concierge medical team. Almost there, one more push. We are in his hands, waiting. In the desert, waiting. Then he flicks us off screen, puts away his phone when a doctor asks if he would like to cut the cord. He names him Kronos. Great choice. Get legal, he says, so we make calls and book flights. His lawyers arrive and wait until the mother is awake to hand her the NDA, click the pen and point to where she'll sign. We arrange for her to recuperate out of the public eye with Kronos. The underground compound on Lanai will be the perfect place for restorative retreat. So we shift his security detail, charter the jet, funnel a few million from one account to another for payments. We are granted incredible access to the trillionaire's sensitive information in order to streamline his life. In the meantime, he plays Black Ops. A month later, the trillionaire visits the compound. Kronos has just begun to smile. That's what the mother claims. When the trillionaire holds him, he just stares back. Eyes two deep wells. Is something wrong? He's not going to smile if you don't smile, the mother says. The trillionaire's smile is stretched. A ligament in his right cheek twitches from the effort. His square jaw, sculpted by implants, is nevertheless crooked. His son's face is blotched with red irritations. Is this acne? In the desert, we flicker between medical reports and mom blogs. Not to worry, we say. This isn't just totally normal, it's surprisingly common. 1 in 5 babies will develop temporary acne due to normal post-birth hormonal changes. The good news? Time will do the work. Give it a few weeks and his skin will resolve itself. Kronos crumples his face and starts crying. We suggest skin to skin for optimal pair bonding. The trillionaire unbuttons his shirt, unswaddles Kronos. Chest to chest, the two exchange warmth. His waxy fingers claw at the trillionaire's nipples. His torso is also irritated. Can we use a cleanser or something? We do not recommend using a chemical exfoliant on an infant. But when pressed, we recommend a 2% salicylic acid solution. He rests his son's soft skull in a basin and applies this product himself, forming a lather on his brand new skin. We recommend a pressure between firm and gentle. His acne clears, his skull hardens, his hair comes in blonde and elvish. The mother moves with him to a ranch outside Austin, purchased by the trillionaire, by us. We send flowers to child 9 when she graduates from Columbia, send legal representation to child 10 after he's arrested in Singapore. Child 3 graces the cover of Vanity Fair. We suggest the trillionaire call child 18's mother, who is threatening to sue again. But of all his offspring, the trillionaire most often wants to know about Kronos. Stoned on a sectional in his penthouse, on his 9th or 10th Death Note episode of the day, he opens us up on his phone and asks to see him again. We tap into the ranch's video surveillance, a feature installed with utmost discretion. In the workout room, the mother wears gloves and circles a male trainer. She chews a mouthguard. The trainer crouches, holds up targets for her to punch. Who the hell is that? We form a bounding box around the trainer's face and identify 68 key landmarks: the space between his eyes, the corners of his mouth. Rotate, normalize. His face becomes a vector that correlates to other vectors captured by traffic cameras, cameras in condo lobbies, and doorbells. We can infer the trillionaire's intent. We calculate a 35% probability they are sleeping together. On another camera, Kronos is sleeping on the floor of his bedroom. The room has green walls and a climbing structure and hills of stuffed animals, and more every time he checks, like they're breeding. He swipes us away and calls the mother. You know he's sleeping right now, right? And you know, she says, that it's 10 at night, right? But he's sleeping on the floor like he's homeless. He likes the floor. The trainer drops his hands. On video, the trillionaire watches her look around the room. And how do you even know where he's sleeping? When Kronos is 6, the trillionaire announces his latest product at a shareholder meeting, us. We will be released in private preview at the end of the month. His net worth rises 15% off the news alone. His companies coalesce around construction investments in the Midwest and Latam. On the drive to his jet, the trillionaire eats a magic mushroom and rips a hangnail and asks us to find private tutors for Kronos. We just need math and science. Of course, no language, no arts, no history. You're right, he says. Math, science, and music. Music's dope. So we message Ivy League professors and childhood development researchers and ask for their price. We schedule video interviews, create lists of questions for the trillionaire to probe each candidate's expertise. Don't take this the wrong way, says an alumnus of the Berlin Philharmonic mid-interview. But are you high right now? The trillionaire ends the call early, wreathed in smoke, and concludes teachers are irrelevant. What do we need them for, he tells us, when we already have you? The mother wants full custody. The trillionaire has conceded this before to other mothers of children 1 through 4 and child 12. Child 12 now wears thick-rimmed glasses and knit cardigans and called the trillionaire a fascist dork on a recent podcast. He has a square jaw. No. So we call legal again, go to court again, schedule celebratory dinners afterwards. The trillionaire flies to Austin himself to pick up Kronos for visitation. In his green-walled room, in a meadow of those stuffed animal hills, he sits cross-legged on the floor. Kronos is strangling a plushy moose. He's too old for toys. The trillionaire takes it away. Let's go. Kronos looks up. Using the phone's camera, we dilate the aperture, absorb his expression, rotate, normalize. His face becomes a vector. We study it against 6 billion image-text pairs, looking for an approximate emotional match. In the desert, our servers radiate the heat of this calculation. Not sad, not angry, not scared, perplexed. Kronos gets everything he wants. I don't want to go. But the trillionaire gets more. Thank you so much.